Good morning. Good morning and welcome to this brave new world. Good morning, everybody. Well, you never know quite what you're going to wake up to these days, do you? Hi, I'm Sally Thibault, for those who don't know me, and welcome to this week's Facebook Live. We're going to be looking at how you can access your intuition in these extraordinary times, and I hope to be able to share with you some real strategies and tools that you can actually use practically today. Good morning, Sandy. Morning, Louise. Thank you for joining me this morning. How are you all doing? Good morning, Louise. Thank you. How are you all doing? Let me know. Are you feeling morning, Deb? Are you feeling good or a little bit unnerved? How is this impacting on you? Let me know as we go through this, because I think I'm experiencing, I'm not sure whether you are too, but kind of oscillating feelings. One minute I'm calm, and the next minute I do this. You know, I kind of go, oh, and then I go, oh, back to calm. And then I something else happens. Morning, Nicole. Something else happens. I go, oh. And I feel like I'm doing this all the time. Is anybody else experiencing that? Especially when they announced the closing of the borders. That's when it really just hit me. I wanted to just lie down and have a big, deep cry. My kids are overseas, but they're absolutely gorgeous. They're checking in every day. We've got a group chat set up, and they're checking in every day, letting me they're okay. All my kids actually are online. My daughter's a TV journalist, so I'm seeing her news reports all the time. And my youngest daughter, they're actually filming online dance classes at the moment. And so she's on Insta Story all the time and filming the classes and editing and sending me some incredible things. And of course, my son works for Watch Mojo, which is one of YouTube's biggest channels. So it's really good, actually, I am so grateful that, you know, this is now that I can connect to them. Imagine what it must have been like in the 40s when their kids went off to war and you just didn't hear from them for months and months and months. It just gives you a greater understanding of what our grandparents must have gone through in that time. Really just makes you realise how fortunate we are. Louise doing lots of tapping and feeling better, was really anxious last week. Yeah. Deb, not impacting. I've been down at the pre-polling booth. Interesting. Council elections must go on. They know. We pulled up the other day, Deb, and there were so many people who went, oh no, we're going to go there, we'll go tomorrow. So we haven't got there yet, but we will. Yeah, crazy times. So let's start today. I want to end with a visualization and meditation that can kind of keep this going. Sandy, I tapped on intuition the other day, but felt like everything, yeah. Exactly. Just denying. I'll get what I want and what I need. That's exactly what I'm going to be sharing about today, is that the ability to stop yourself when you're falling into that fear and to come back to say, you know, I have the solutions. I wanted to share a bit of a story about this. I have done a process, and I'm going to share with you later on today, called 7 Levels Deep. And I just did this process about 4 weeks ago. And it's a process I use with all my clients now. And it's where you keep asking questions to get down below to what is really important and what you really want and why. And I did this process, as I said, about 4 weeks ago. And one of the things that came out, I think it was about level 6, that came out was, I'm doing what I'm doing now because everything in my past has to have made sense. And I didn't realise the impact of that until this week. I went to bed on Thursday night, as I always do, and sort of go into that deep meditation before I go to sleep at night. And I always ask a question. What's the best thing for me to do right now? Or what's the solution I need to see? How do I solve this problem? Or I often reach out to my mum, my angel. I have an angel. My mother's been in heaven for 35 years, so she's still around, which is lovely. And I often ask her, which I did on Thursday, Mum, is there anything I need to know? Is there anything I need to experience? And I woke up and went for a walk. And as I was walking down to the beach, I just had this sudden, incredible, overwhelming sense of peace and calm that came over me. And it took me right back to what we went through in the 90s. Hands up anyone on this call this morning who remembers the recession of the 90s, when interest rates went to 22%, credit card debt interest rates went, I don't know, way beyond that. I can't remember what they went to, 25% or something. And it was just this amazing time in our lives when everything ground to a halt. So at the time, my husband was, and he still is, of course, in commercial real estate. And at that time, leading up sort of from late 80s into the first part of the 90s, we were on a six-figure income, tons of money. I mean, tons of money flowing through the doors. Yep, absolutely. So you'll know, you can relate to this story, Nicole and Deb. Yeah. So we had tons of money flowing. I was working at the gym at the time. I was pregnant with Caitlin, my third child, towards the end of it. But it was high time, like heady times. I remember everything went on the American Express card. And because we just thought it was going to happen forever. The people were flipping properties, they were buying things and making, $200,000 or $300,000 profit within a month. And just crazy. We had a house, we had a couple of investment properties, we had a share portfolio. We were out a lot. I was working at the gym. We had parties. It was just amazing time. It was amazing times. And I remember going overseas, and Jerry had won a prize. Morning L. Jerry had won a prize, a sales prize, the top salesman of the year. He was, if anybody doesn't know, where the Q1 is in Surfers Paradise? Well, my husband actually amalgamated that whole area. Whole block. He put together the thing. The people that amalgamated ended up going broken this time. But anyway, that's another story. But he did all the amalgamation. Prior to that all happening, we went overseas. And I remember going into the States with our American Express card and buying. I had bought so much in the US that I had to buy another suitcase to bring home. It's ridiculous. But we just thought it was going to go on forever. Like, we didn't know it wasn't going to go on forever. And so we were really debt up to our eyeballs, but that was good because in those days debt was good, that was fantastic, money coming in, could service the debt, blah, blah, blah. And then one day it all stopped. Just literally, it felt, I probably wasn't, but I can feel, when I look back on it, it felt like it stopped overnight. Suddenly, we had investment properties at 20% interest or whatever it was. We had a house at 14.5% interest. We were locked in, thank goodness. We had credit card debt. I had a Visa and American Express. And all of a sudden, everything just stopped. Now, for a while, we managed to live on our savings. We managed to sort of, rob Peter to pay Paul, basically, continually, when you're paying 22% interest. But eventually, that all stopped. Eventually, it just stopped. Great time to go to fix more. Exactly, Jenny. And I remember going into absolute fear. I remember, because we had little children at the time too, and as I said, I was pregnant, and it just was the most extraordinary time. And I remember going into this absolute fear, and I look back on myself now at that time, and I'm sure many of you on this call have been through. I'm going to go back and look at your comments in a minute because I'm sure you can relate. It was like same but different, as I said yesterday on the video. It was so, you didn't know what was going to happen from one day to the next. It was so unbelievable that it had happened. There were people losing jobs that shouldn't have lost jobs. There were people losing houses. It was unbelievable. The difference now is there were no food shortages. We just didn't have money to pay for food, But by the way, I was going to write a book at that stage, 50 Ways to Use Mincemeat. Make it taste good. But we were very, very cautious, and it got to a point for us where we just had to walk away. We were very fortunate. We walked away from a lot of our investment properties, just handed them over. Couldn't service the debt. But we were very fortunate in able to save our house. We managed to sell it and made a little bit of a profit on it, which was great, which then paid off quite a bit of the debt. But then for a period of time, it took so long for it all to kind of turn around, and then there were years when there was no sales in real estate, so we were living on my income at that point, which wasn't great. But what I wanted to share with you is that there was this moment I remember, and it came to me on my walk the other day when I was having this aha moment. There was this time I remember, we were in the backyard and kids were playing in the pool, and we'd had Caitlin by then. She must have been about 14 months old, so we'd moved to another house. We'd sold our house and moved to another house. And the kids were playing in the pool, and we were renting this house. And I was watching the kids. So David was like 9 or 10, might have been. Alyssa would have been 7, and Caitlin maybe 14 months. And they were teaching her how to jump off the pool, like toes over the edge. The words kept going, toes over the edge, toes over the edge, as she's gripping the toes over the edge of the pool. And they were teaching her to dive, trying to dive into the pool, and then catching her and pushing her back, and then bringing her over the boogie board and getting her on the boogie board and bringing her. And it was just, I could hear this absolute squeals of delight and joy. And Jerry and I were talking about something, and how we're going to do this and how we're going to pay that. And at that moment, I thought, I am missing out on these children. I am missing out on these children. I'm so worried about what's going to happen next. That in that moment, it was like in that moment, there was everything that was important to me was in that backyard. My husband, my children, the birds were singing. Everything that was important was in that backyard. And it was interesting now, because when I look back on that time, I was working in the fitness industry in the gym, but I wasn't enjoying it anymore. Jerry was in the industry and working for an organisation downtown. We talk about downtown, but in Surface, and he wasn't enjoying it anymore. And it was like we ended up with, hey Kelly, welcome. We ended up with doing something that we didn't like anymore. It was like this noise at the back of your brain that says, I can't get out of what I'm doing because I've got to keep the wheels turning, so I can't do what I want to do. And I remember at that point thinking, you know what? Everything that's important to me is in this backyard. So what am I trying to hang on to? Like, what am I trying to hang on to? Isn't this the time, while all this is happening, that I could be working on myself? And I did. And interestingly enough, that moment has actually led to what I'm doing now, because it was during that time, not long after that I wrote David's Gift, and I started working in the field of autism. And then from there got into EFT, and from there went into life coaching. From there went into, and now I'm working with people to help them release weight that no longer serves them through intuitive eating. And it's like that moment I remember. And do you know what I think is going on now? The same thing. Exactly the same thing. Do you know, I read an article the other day about the canals in Venice. Since tourism has stopped, the water's clear, the dolphins are back, and the swans are swimming. And I'm in a group at the moment, and there's a lady who's in Italy now, and she, they've been in lockdown, and she was saying, we were allowed out to take our animals for a walk, and she said, all of a sudden the sky is blue and the birds are singing. I haven't heard the birds singing for wherever she lives in Italy for years. And there was a satellite image over the top of, that came from the space station, that showed the lack of pollution no longer over the area of Wuhan and the area in China. And this was all coming to me sort of Friday, like it all just starts to download. We are in times of change, and the change we've actually been talking about. We've been wanting this. We've talked about we need to do something about the environment. We've talked about we need to do something about cleaning up our rivers and our streams. We've talked about, caring for our community. I don't know if you're seeing this. I'm seeing so many kind people at the moment. I mean, we're seeing not so nice people, but lovely, kind people, people helping others. The restaurant a friend of ours owns downstairs, we were down there last night. Oh, those poor guys, they're running around with tape measures at the moment, trying to set the tables out because the new things came out last night about how far people have to be. And my husband actually leased the shop, so they were saying, how big's the space, square meterage, how many people can we have? They're working so hard to do all that. But they're also providing meals at 50% off for healthcare workers right now, and they'll deliver them if they need them. There's just the most extraordinary amount of kindness. That's right, Sandy. Mother Earth is healing, and we didn't listen before. So, all that behind us, okay? So now is the time, that's right, Louise, time for compassion, love and healing on a global interpersonal level. Absolutely. Absolutely. So here's what I want to go with this today. You people on this call, as I am, and everybody that I think we know, right? It is important for us to be the leaders of calm. We're the ones that need to go out and help people calm down. I was talking to a friend of mine last night, and, this person I think is really spiritual and really together, very healthy, looking after themselves. I could hear the fear in his voice about catching this virus. And I sort of stood back and thought, what? Morning, Christine. Lovely to have you here. Morning. Leaders of Calm. Thank you, Sally. Yes. I could hear the fear in his voice. And I mentioned on the call last week, there's another girl that I follow in the US who's into health. Like, she's top of one of the multinational marketing companies, not doTERRA, but another one. And the fear in her voice about social isolating and germs, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh! I mean, this is the time we that you prepare for, right? This is why you stay healthy. You stay healthy and be sensible. It's because that you increase your immune system. In fact, Marianne Williamson said yesterday on a beautiful live that she ran yesterday, she said, what's extraordinary now is you're seeing the people who have placed their health in the hands of somebody else instead of taking responsibility for their own health. And you're seeing that now, the fear that comes with it. So it's really, really critical right now that we become the leaders of calm. And that is trusting your own intuition. You cannot trust your intuition if you live in fear, scarcity, lack, and it's really difficult not to live in scarcity at the moment if you're going shopping, because everybody is, you can feel the anxiety as you go to the supermarket. You can feel this kind of low-grade anxiety, especially you turn your trolley down the toilet aisle, your toilet paper aisle. You go, oh, really? Really? But if you believe in abundance, now I want to share with you what happened in that time in the 90s when I made that decision that day about things being important and work on myself. So those were the things like came out of that, like creating my one-word theme. That came out of that time. Journaling came out of that time. I didn't have EFT in those days, but I did a lot of meditation, came out of the time. I actually stopped working in the gym and actually started running walking groups. So people would come to my house. I had up to 20 people who used to come to my house 5 days a week. And we would go walking every morning, and it turned into a great, great community. And then that all came out of that. And the thing was, I didn't want to work in the gym anymore, but I was hanging on to it because I thought I needed to. But when I changed my thoughts about it, right, when I changed my thought, other things opened up and miracles started to occur. Amazing, amazing miracles started to occur. Just extraordinary. I remember the time when I thought, oh my gosh, how are we going to get through this week? We were kind of literally down to the last $20 or something, and I went to the post office, to the post box, mailbox to get the mail, and I thought at that stage, just sort of trust. Okay, Mum, like, what do I need to do? Show me what I need to do. Always talk to my darling angel that lives in heaven, and I opened up the mailbox, and there was a check for $750 for a commission that had been late in coming for my husband. I'll never forget that. I thought right at the end of it, something happened to remind me that I'd be okay. And this is this time, right? You will be okay, we will be okay if we trust in our intuition. If you decide and make the decision, okay, what is it I truly want? If you're in a situation now, for instance, where your job could be, not stable or concrete enough, get to those 7 levels deep. What do I really, really want? And why? What's really important to me? And why? And why? And why? And just keep asking the question 7 levels deep. Why is this important to me? It's really critical right now, I believe, to have a strong vision, and that's what we're going to be working on in a minute. When I'm going to stop talking in a minute, we're going to do visualization. Strong visualization, and to put your emotion, as Joe Dispenza calls it, your emotion behind it. Now is the time to be clear, because when you're clear about what you want, and I mean really clear, I mean deep clear, I mean understanding what you want from that deepest of not doing what you think you need to do. I think those days are over now. I think that's the problem, is that those days are over. And, if you're in a situation now in an organisation or a business and your income is going down, ask yourself the question, is this what I really truly want to do? And if it's no, look for something else. If it's yes, start to look at things differently. How can I think out of the box, like those guys downstairs in the restaurant downstairs? They only opened in January. They only opened in January. And suddenly they're faced with the first they had the floods in February, and now they've got this. But they are working hard to come up with alternative solutions that can serve our community. They're offering, you can go there now, and they're doing what they call these hug meals. So they're creating like fish and chips, spaghetti bolognese. They're doing some vegetarian things as well, but really kind of, chicken schnitzel with chips. They make the best chips in the world, by the way. For $12.50 takeaway. You can phone them, and they'll do this beautiful meal up for you. They're thinking out of the box. What is that? A good friend once told me to just trust it all comes out in the wash. Yes, you have to trust. I'm a great believer in the universe always has your back. I am just a great believer in that. I am a great believer that when you are on path, when you are doing what you are supposed to be doing in this world, miracles will occur. Your job is to do the inner work. That's your job. Your job is to do the inner work. Your job is to keep moving forward. Your job is to be thinking of alternative solutions. Your job is to be asking, how can I serve? That's your job. The universe then, or God, or Allah, or Buddha, or whatever terminology you use, has your back. I know I have an angel in heaven that looks after. She's gorgeous, my mum. I often think that that's part of the reason that she left early, was she could be there in times like this. We have so many stories about our children getting out in extraordinary circumstances, and our family all go, that was mum. That was mum. All the time. She does it all the time. She's amazing. I remember when my son was married, and it was pouring rain in Montreal, and it was cold. And this morning, the day of their wedding, one day, sun came out, it was so warm, and we all looked at each other and said, Mum. Thanks, Mum. So the universe always has your back. All right. Now, I'm going to have a look at some of these comments, because I can see them coming through, and they look absolutely fantastic. Thank you, everybody, for being part of this. This is what we need to do, okay? We need to talk and be part of the solution, that we can create the solutions. We honestly can. We are women, number one. We know how to make mince taste true, taste good. We know how to do that. We know how to budget. We know how to balance. We know how to keep people, safe in our home. I remember reading something many years ago that said, whether you like it or not, Mother holds the love in the house, and she truly does. And that's our job for all us women who are on the call. Let me just hang on. I'm just trying to get up I'm in the wrong spot. And I want to just have a look at some of your comments here, because I've been seeing them come through and they look fantastic. If I can get it back, let's go. Where am I? It's not letting me see them. Oh, yeah, Elle, my family is always with you. Yep, absolutely, Elle, absolutely. It is so true, don't you think? I mean, I do. I just think Mum's always with me. I can feel her sometimes, and you know, as I said, that's why I think she left so early. It's not letting me get up the comments, unfortunately. I'm going to go back through them because I can't get them here. Where are we going? Not impacting down the people on built. We went through everything. Yes. Hello, Kate. If I haven't said hello to you, Jenny, great time. If you ever fix more, yeah, back then, right. Sandy, I remember Mama would buy 2 massive big trolleys of food for about $300. It was for 8 people. To take a child to push the trolley. Definitely can't do that now, right? I know. Hello, Kathy, Kylie, Kelly, Debbie, yeah. Silver linings, yeah. A soul sister talked about Earth Gaia is healing, yep. So Louise, a time for compassion, love and healing on a global. Yes, I think I said that before, Louise. I honestly believe this is why we're doing what we're doing, right? That's why we're doing what we're doing, to be here. Well, hello, Michaela, Christine, Anne-Marie, good morning. Absolutely. Those on the autism spectrum are so anxious at the moment, supporting on this level so much more. Yes. In fact, my girlfriend Chris and I are doing a live stream next week on helping families with autism get through this. It is really hard, parents raising kids with autism, because it's bad enough. We're low-grade anxiety with the uncertainty of kids on the autism spectrum. Really hard, really, really hard. Training for this for 2 years. Yep, absolutely. Elle. Oh, thank you. Never felt more clear on my person. Beautiful. Yep. Cool. Empowering ourselves with calm and love. Yes, Louise, thank you. So true. This is what we're doing. Okay? This is why, for everybody here on this call today, for all the work you've done, you know, in your inner work, it's for now we're being called to share that, to live it. And as I said, that, you know, that thing when I was doing the 7 levels deep was, the reason I do what I'm doing is my past has to have made sense. And that's what I think this is all about. The past has to have made sense. All right, so I will add in here, I don't know where Mike, I can't get my... If you are struggling at the moment and you think you need some help, please reach out. I've just popped in the link to the strategy session. There's not many left. I've had an incredible month actually with people reaching out, which is just so wonderful. I just love this work, you know, and helping people get through this at the moment. It makes my heart sing, honestly, it makes my heart sing. So there's only a few of those strategy sessions left, but if you really feel like you need some help right now, or if you're going to say, you know what, I'm going to work on myself. Right, I'm going to work on in this time, I'm going to work on myself. I'm ready. When this is all over, I'm ready, man. I'm ready. Reach out and have a chat and let me see what I can do. And for heaven's sake, don't let fear of money stand in your way. I am offering just really good payment plans at the moment, and I'm very open to it. So if you are struggling or you need some assistance, please reach out. Okay, yep. Excellent, Elle. I will. I'll pop a link to you. It's Autism Wellbeing event. It's a live stream over 2 days, and for many families, it's. So I'll get that up actually while I've got you on the call. So anybody who does know somebody who is a family who's living with autism, this, as I said, it's a closed live stream to allow people on the call to ask questions in a very closed environment. We want to make this really, it's really about helping parents at this point. That's also available, the Autism Wellbeing event. Rightio. Who is ready for a visualization and meditation to end this call today? I cannot emphasize to you, thanks Nicole, I cannot emphasize to you how important it is for you to be doing visualization and meditation. It is critical because this is going to ramp up. I'm just been checking in on the news today, and it's going to ramp up. So you really need right now, you're welcome, Elle, you really need right now to be just enclosing yourself switch off that TV. Although I have to find my husband watching the football with no fans. wasn't the same, was it? Be very careful of what you're watching on TV. We can't wait. MasterChef starts soon. Yoo-hoo! There'll be a run on all MasterChef things. I just love. That's our favourite show of the whole year is MasterChef. Cannot wait for that to start. But be mindful of what you're reading. Be mindful of what you're watching. Be mindful of who you're talking to. For my empaths on the call, Nicole, you're one of them. There's a few others. Empath Sandy, another one. Your empaths. Be very mindful of your energy right now. Just be very mindful of ensuring that you are looking after yourself, and be careful of that transference of energy, because it is really important. Really, really important. You are holding that space. People will be turning to you because you get it. I know a lot of our empaths and introverts, this is a tough time for them. Although, as my son said, Mum, I'm stuck on a couch for weeks with my wife playing video games. Seventh heaven, Mum, for an autistic person. He's good. They've got freeze-dried and canned food. They're all good. And they're working from home. Bless his cotton socks. He's so gorgeous. All right. Let's do this visualization and meditation. All right. And then we'll do some questions at the end. Oh, you're welcome, Louise. You're welcome. Let's spread calmness, shall we? I'm going to turn on some music. So, just like you to just breathe. Just close your eyes. Just get comfortable. Okay, just take a deep breath. I just want you now to just, as you're breathing, I want you to imagine all your energy around your heart. Just imagine all your energy around your heart. Just in a soft pink colour. Gentle, calm energy. Take a deep breath in. Sense that beautiful pink energy surrounding your heart. Just creating a barrier of love around your heart, protecting you. And as you've got this barrier of love around your heart, just make a decision of who you're going to pull into that pink energy around your heart. Who are you going to pull into that? Just take them by the hand and just bring them into that pink energy that's surrounding your heart. Only the people that you want in that pink energy. Know that they're safe. Know that you're safe. As you've got that barrier of pink love around your heart and all the people that you want in there with you, your children, your partner, your loved ones, your parents, whoever it is, friends, your beautiful friends, know that they're safe. And now allow the radiance of that pink energy to just flow out from you. So there's a barrier there, but you're allowing your radiance to flow out to others. see yourself kind of covered in this glow of calm and energy. Just feel yourself sitting in this space with the people that you love. Know that they're safe. And just imagine this glow around you, just emanating out from you. That pink energy is the all-knowing you. As that radiance is shining out, I want you to imagine that there is a white light flowing down from above, and it is coming through you into your heart. This is the universe, God, Buddha, the I Am, flowing through you, supporting you, being there. And in that white light might be people who've crossed over. And they're there for you too. Feel the love from them. Feel that love from that divine being. From those who've crossed over, who are there for you now. Feel their love. As that white light flows through you, see it now flowing through to your heart and just emanating around that beautiful pink energy, and it's still radiating outwards. The people that you come into contact with, you'll be able to help them as you are a leader of calm. And as that white light flows through you, I want you to see it go now right down through your feet. And I want you to feel really grounded to the earth. Feel that peace and that calm that comes from Mother Earth. And she heals right now. And she's providing us with solutions. Feel her love. Feel her warmth. A clean ocean. Green trees. All those bushfire areas healing now as the green comes back. All those rivers and canals that are now clear. We are much a part of that healing as everybody else. Radiance emanate out across your street, your neighbourhood, suburb that you're in, the city that you live in. Feel that radiance radiate out, radiate outwards across the country. And feel that radiance connecting with everybody else who's radiating beautiful energy right now, just covering the earth with it, covering that earth, surrounding it as we heal. As you come back now to that beautiful pink energy that's emanating from your heart, that space, that special space you've created, all those beautiful people in your life that are important to you, I want you to find the center of that energy. That is your intuition. Know that it's always there. And when you're calm and feel abundant, when you choose to stay out of lack and fear and overwhelm, you can access that all-knowing part of you that's connected to the universe and grounded with Mother Earth. It's always there. And when you need some guidance, simply go to that space and ask, what do I need to do? What's the message I need to hear? As we leave this visualization now, I want you just to experience that feeling. Love, safety, calm, all-knowingness, whatever it is, I want you to really experience that energy, that emotion. And calling that emotion whenever you need it. We are the leaders of calm, and our job is to help those who are not feeling really calm right now. You know what to do. You know exactly what to do. Just take a deep breath. As you slowly open your eyes, be aware of where you are. And come back into the room. How did you go? Let me know how it felt. Oh, I feel like just going and standing in the middle of Woolworths now and doing a pirouette. Spreading that love, that white light. that peace and calm. All right. If you're jumping on at the end, hi Pauline, hi Kay, if you're jumping on the end, please hop back and revisit that. We just did a beautiful meditation and visualization. I cannot say. Oh, great. Thanks, Deb. I cannot emphasize how important it is, my leaders of calm, to be doing this daily. The more we do it, the more it emanates out. Our heart resonance, emanates out 3 meters from us. 3 meters from us. So whatever you're doing right now, however you're feeling, people 3 meters away, those people that we brought into our heart energy, remember, they are important. That is important. It's the only thing. You're welcome. You're welcome, everybody. Oh, thank you, everybody. Thank you. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I feel very calm too now. Ooh. Reach out if you need help right now. And we are all going to get through this. We're going to get through this as a community. And we're going to get through this together. Have a wonderful Saturday, everybody. I think this is my new greeting. I did this when I was in India, and I really loved it. I've forgotten all about it. So this is the new, and I love Namaste. Namaste, all my friends. And I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. Emanate that calm. Be the leaders of calm. And I'll talk with you soon. See you next week. Bye.